Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Lemonade Life. So we're going to be talking about lemons to lemonade. So what is going on with a sleep apnea CPAP machine? First, I'm going to put in a shameless plug. I am sitting in front of my bookshelf because I just filmed a couple of writing type videos on my new channel. Would love some support. I'm going to be publishing a book, but also talking about what we like as readers. So this stuff, I guess you could say, you know, a big lemon that we've all been handed is COVID-19, the never-ending nightmare. So for me, I've talked about, I work for an airline industry. Right now I am on a leave of absence because they don't exactly need all the employees working when not nearly as many people are flying. While there are some downsides, there have been some things that I have been able to use the time off with for my benefit. One of them is working on my health. I always feel like death warmed over. Now you could say, Jennifer, you are clearly out of shape. Eating better foods and exercising makes you feel better. And gosh darn it, I know that's true. But for someone who has never been this overweight, you really don't understand. I mean, that's a whole nother video, but our bodies are complex. Yes, I need therapy. Yes, I need better sleep, and I need to eat better and to exercise, and I need a lot of things. One of those things especially is sleep, because if I am not sleeping well, I am grumpy, I am depressed, and if I am depressed, I am eating bad, and I don't want to get out of bed, so I'm not going to go for a bike ride. You know, there's a cycle, and also the avalanche. So one thing that I really wanted to focus on was sleeping better. After, gosh, months and months and months of horrible sleeping patterns, I talked to my doctor. We got me set up with a sleep study. I did a home sleep study, and we have talked about having me actually go into the clinic. The results were that I do have mild sleep apnea. Now, my doctor stressed multiple times that home tests don't show the results as dramatically as the in-clinic studies, so it's probably worse than the original study shows. And because I am having symptoms, I was being treated for it, or am being treated for it. So sleep apnea, meaning that you stop breathing for a little bit while you sleep. Again, mine is mild, and you know, there is a lot of shame, and I can admit that being overweight does contribute to that kind of thing. I am aware of that. We set me up with a CPAP machine, and I wanted to talk about that experience and where we're going with it. So this here is a humidifier tray, which if you are in nice humid places, you might not ever even see. But I live in a desert, or at least what's classified as arid, so it is dry, and you are forcing air from a machine into your nose, and that can really dry you out. So to avoid getting like sore throats, bloody noses, that kind of thing, this is good for you. And so this here is another part of the contraption, and it might look a little different, but this is a pretty standard model. I have more than one family member in a different state, different insurance, got the exact same machines with just one small variant. So this is long tube, and it depends how you sleep too. I toss and turn a lot, so I am both a side and back sleeper. This gives you plenty of hose to be able to move around, and then it hooks up to the top of your head. This is a strap that goes around the back of your head, and then this is the cannula, which mine came with 3 different sizes, so it goes for like the width and everything of your nose, and I struggled with these. I had days where I had to take off multiple days in a row off of the machine because fitting can be a little tricky, especially with sensitivities. So with mine, I felt like it wasn't getting a good seal, and it would move too much when I moved, so I would make it a little bit tighter, but then the cartilage in my nose would hurt for days, and that's not great either. So playing a little bit with these, the family members that I have that have their own machine, they were assigned a different kind. It's more like of a cone, and so I don't know, I didn't ask about that, but that's the basics of it. The machine itself, I think a lot of people think of CPAP machines as these loud oxygen machines, and I think they used to be. I feel like that's the mental picture I had from maybe years ago when my grandparents had them, but they are not that way anymore. The modern machine is very simple, very easy, and very quiet. So you really can't hear anything from the machine. The only thing you can hear is the air rushing through the hose and into your nose. So that actually gives a nice white noise in the background if that is helpful for you. The CPAP machine monitors all of your activity. So it reports daily, it just shoots it in the cloud for your doctor to review the pressure that they prescribed into it, and also, you know, how many times you had sleep apnea, what times of the night, when did you wake up, when did you snore. It assesses all of that and sends it away so you don't have to really think about it. So that's really nice to be able to have that monitoring, but also, it's also something I didn't like. So I'm showing you these things, but I'm not showing you the main machine because I don't have it anymore. So I was on this for 2 to 3 months, and I decided with my doctor that it just was not doing what I wanted it to do. And part of it is the stress of the insurance. So my insurance required that I be wearing this sucker 70% of the time at night, or they would not pay for it. And you know, they weren't paying for it all. They wouldn't pay their portion of it. And it's a rental for a year, otherwise it's over, you know, $1,000. And for me, that, I don't know, that was just a lot of anxiety when I felt like, you know, oh my gosh, it hurt the cartilage in my nose because I didn't put it on right one night, and so I'm not going to wear it for the next 3 nights. And then I'm just thinking in my head, okay, 70% of the time, so you can only miss so many nights, don't miss any more. And you know, sometimes I just didn't feel like wearing it. So there was a lot of anxiety with that, making sure I'm meeting a quota just to try to sleep. And for me, it just wasn't doing the job. Do I feel like it helped at all? Maybe, but not enough. There's also the anxiety of making sure to clean it regularly, and just maintenance. For me, that was tricky. So I am moving on to something else. I'll talk about that in a minute. Other hard things with it is, you know, feeling like I need to focus on that, but also the fact that I was trying out different medications, honestly, with different doctors for different factors. And we do believe that I have PLME. It means that when you're sleeping, it's like restless leg syndrome, but at night. And we know that I have that because I actually filmed myself on this very camera. I can plug it in and record over 8 hours of footage, and I've watched myself, you know, sped up and see, like, I move my arms and legs, especially my legs, a lot sometimes, constantly while I'm sleeping. And it's something that you probably don't even know you have. I actually had a doctor before I filmed myself say that he thought I had that. I'm like, I don't wake up like that. I don't have jittery legs. It's like, I don't know. But you know what? I think he's right. And I was prescribed something for that. And I can tell very much a difference on the nights I take that medication and the nights that I don't. So for me, I think that's more of an issue. Are my sleeping problems fixed just because of taking that medication? I still have the sleep apnea. Those are unrelated issues. And what we are doing about that is we're moving on to the next step, and that is getting a mouth guard. So it's a custom kind that fits your jaw in a certain way that you are not going to stop breathing. I don't know, but it's nice to not have to maintain this contraption and have a quota that they're monitoring, and just all the stress that I felt was coming with this machine that was not helping me, or at least I didn't feel like it was helping me. Now, the tricky thing about having this mouth guard thing is that it's not hooked up to a machine, so the doctor can't say, oh, okay, yeah, it is working, because they can't monitor a mouth guard. So at that point, it just becomes my judgment call of, am I sleeping better? And sometimes I really suck at giving that kind of feedback, so we'll see. I don't know. The insurance wouldn't cover it until I did give a good go at the CPAP machine. And you know, if your doctor thinks you should try it, I definitely think that you should go with it, because sleep apnea can cause a lot of problems and can combine with other health problems to make them much more serious. You need your sleep to function properly, for your body to work at its best, and that's something that I'm still working to pursue. And I'm hoping we can get that peg down. I am feeling better. Does that mean I'm energized during the day? It really doesn't. And that's a frustrating part for me, is, you know, I feel like if I got a solid even 10 hours of sleep, I should have energy, right? But I still don't. And so that might be other issues. You know, my doctor talked about testing for narcolepsy, but you can't be tested for narcolepsy until you know that the apnea is under control. And I might have to go back to the machine, and oh, for the love, I don't know. Right now, I'm on a medication from a different doctor to help me not feel like a depressed, mindless zombie for every waking hour, just some of the times. But I don't know, guys. I'm working on it, and I'm proud of the fact that I'm tackling most of my issues. I'm not back in therapy. I haven't tackled that one yet. But, you know, I think that this is really important, and I hope that when I do get called back to work, I will be in a much better place to be an efficient employee. Not that I wasn't, but I felt like I was on a ship that was sinking, you know, not that the company, just me personally, that I was struggling and fighting every day to just exist and survive and get by. And so I hope that in the long run, figuring out my sleep and other health problems will really make my quality of life better. And I hope that if you are struggling with things, you know, talk to a doctor, talk to multiple doctors, and even do some research for yourself. Your health is important, so take care of it. And I don't know, I hope you found this helpful. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I would love to help with anyone that is curious about CPAP machines or apnea. I just figured there are people out there curious, so I thought I would throw my experience out into the world and try to help in any way I could. So thank you for joining me. Feel free to subscribe and have a wonderful rest of your day.